welcome back to Work Break Reading. We're picking up in Paradise Lost. The last time we read was Satan had entered the garden. He'd leapt the wall because he disdained the proper way to get in, and then he was perched on top of a tree in the guise of a cormorant bird and was surveying all of the garden. So it says, by Nihilus ahead, enclosed with shining rock, a whole day's journey high, but wide remote from this Assyrian garden, where the fiend saw undelighted, all delight, all kind of living creatures, new to sight and strange. Two, of far nobler shape, erect and tall, godlike erect, with native honor clad in naked majesty, seemed lords of all, and worthy seemed, for in their looks divine the image of their glorious Maker shone, truth, wisdom, sanctitude, severe and pure, severe but in true filial freedom placed, whence true authority in men, though both not equal, as their sex not equal seemed, for contemplation he and valor formed, for softness she and sweet attractive grace, he for God only, she for God in him. His fair large front and eye sublime declared absolute rule, and hyacinthan locks round from his parted forelock manly hung, clustering, but not beneath his shoulders broad. She, as a veil down to the slender waist, her adorned golden tresses wore, dishevelled, but in wanton ringlets waved as the vine curls her tendrils, which implied subjection, but required with gentle sway, and by her yielded, by him best received, yielded with coy submission, modest pride, and sweet, reluctant, amorous delay. Nor those mysterious parts were then concealed. Then was not guilty shame, dishonest shame of nature's works, honorable dishonorable, or honor dishonorable, sin-bred. How have ye troubled all mankind with shoes instead, mere shoes of seeming pure, and banished from man's life his happiest life, simplicity and spotless innocence. So passed they naked on, nor shunned the sight of God or angel, for they thought no ill. So hand in hand they passed, the loveliest pair that ever since in love's embraces met. Adam, the goodliest man of men since born, his sons, the fairest of her daughters Eve. Under the tuft of shade that on a green stood whispering soft by a fresh mountainside, they sat them down, and, after no more toil of their sweet gardening labor than sufficed to recommend cool zephyr, and make ease more easy, wholesome thirst and appetite more grateful, to their supper fruits they fell. Nectarine fruits, which the compliant boughs yielded them, sidelong as they sat recline on the soft downy bank damasked with flowers. The savory pulp they chew, and in the rind, still as they thirsted, scoop the brimming stream, nor gentle purpose, nor endearing smiles wanted, nor youthful dalliance as beseems fair couple linked in happy nuptial league, alone as they. About them, frisking played all beasts of the earth, since wild, and of all chase in wood or wilderness, forest or den. Sporting the lion ramped, and in his paw dandled the kid. Bears, tigers, ounces, pards, gambolled before them. The unwieldy elephant, to make them mirth, used all his might, and wreathed his lithe proboscis. Close the serpent sly, insinuating, wove with Gordian twine his breaded train, and of his fatal guile gave proof unheeded. Others on the grass couched, and now filled with pasture, gazing sat, or bedward ruminating. For the sun, declined, was hastening now with prone career to the ocean isles, and in the ascending scale of heaven the stars that usher evening rose, when Satan, still in gaze as first he stood, scarce thus at length failed, speech recovered sad. O hell! What do mine eyes with grief behold? Into our room of bliss, thus high advanced creatures of other mould, earthborn perhaps, not spirits, yet to heavenly spirits bright little inferior, whom my thoughts pursue with wonder, and could love, so lively shines in them divine resemblance, and such grace the hand that formed them on their shape hath poured. Ah, gentle pair, ye little think how nigh your change approaches, when all these delights will vanish, and deliver ye to woe. More woe, and more your taste is now of joy. The more your taste is now of joy. Pardon me. Happy, but for so happy, ill secured, long to continue, and this high seat, your heaven, ill fenced for heaven to keep out such a foe as now is entered, yet no purposed foe to you, whom I could pity thus forlorn, though I unpitied. League with you I seek, and mutual amity, so straight, so close, that I with you must dwell, or you with me henceforth. My dwelling, happily, may not please, like this fair paradise, your sense, yet such accept your Maker's work. He gave it to me, which I as freely give. Hell shall unfold, to entertain you two, her widest gates, and send forth all her kings. There will be room, not like these narrow limits, to receive your numerous offspring. If no better place, thank him who puts me, loath to this revenge on you, who wrong me not, for him who wronged. It's very interesting, what Milton has done here. God created mankind to dwell with him, and Milton's Satan is attempting to do exactly the same, but to subvert mankind so that mankind will dwell instead with Satan. And should I at your harmless innocence melt as I do, yet public reason, just, honor, and empire with revenge enlarged by conquering this new world, compels me now to do what else, though damned, I should abhor. So spake the fiend, and with necessity the tyrant's plea excused his devilish deeds. Then from his lofty stand on that high tree down he alights among the sportful herd of those four-footed kinds, himself now one, now other, as their shape served best his end, nearer to view his prey, and unespied to mark what of their state he more might learn by word or action marked. About them round a lion now he stalks with fiery glare, then as a tiger, who by chance hath spied in some purlieu two gentle fawns at play, straight crouches close, then rising, changes oft his couchant watch, as one who chose his ground, whence, rushing, he might surest seize them both, griped in each paw. When Adam, first of men, to first of women Eve, thus moving speech, turned him all ear to hear new utterance flow. Sole partner, and sole part of all these joys, dearer thyself than all, needs must the power that made us, and for us this ample world, be infinitely good, and of his good as liberal and free as infinite. That raised us from the dust, and placed us here in all this happiness, who at this hand have nothing permitted, nor can perform aught whereof he hath need. He who requires from us no other service than to keep this one, this easy charge. Of all the trees in paradise that bear delicious fruit, so various, not to taste that only tree of knowledge, planted by the tree of life. So near grows death to life, whate'er death is. Some dreadful thing, no doubt, for well thou knowest, God hath pronounced it death to taste that tree, the only sign of our obedience left among so many signs of power and rule conferred upon us, and dominion given over all other creatures that possess earth, air, and sea. Then let us not think hard, one easy prohibition, who enjoy free leave so large to all things else, and choice unlimited of manifold delights. But let us ever praise him, and extol his bounty, following our delightful task, to prune these growing plants, and tend these flowers, which, were it toilsome, yet with thee were sweet. To whom thus Eve replied, O thou, for whom and from whom I was formed flesh of thy flesh, and without whom am to no end my guide and head, what thou hast said is just and right, for we to him indeed all praises owe, and daily thanks, I chiefly, who enjoyed so far the happier lot, enjoying thee preeminent by so much odds, while thou like consort to thyself canst nowhere find. That day I oft remember, when from sleep I first awaked, and found myself reposed, under a shade, on flowers, much wondering where and what I was, whence thither brought, and how. Not distant far from thence a murmuring sound of waters issued from a cave, and spread into a liquid plain, then stood unmoved, pure as the expanse of heaven. I thither went, with unexperienced thought, and laid me down on the green bank, to look into the clear smooth lake, that to me seemed another sky. As I bent down to look, just opposite, a shape, within the water gleaming, appeared, bending to look on me. I stared back. It stared back. But pleased I soon returned. Pleased it returned as soon with answering looks of sympathy and love. There I had fixed mine eyes till now, and pined with vain desire, had not a voice thus warned me. What there thou seest, fair creature, is thyself, which thee it came and goes. But follow me, and I will bring thee where no shadow stays, thy coming in thy soft embraces. He whose image thou art, him thou shalt enjoy, inseparably thine. To him shalt bear multitudes like thyself, and thence be called mother of human race. What could I do, but follow straight, invisibly thus led, till I espied thee, fair indeed and tall, under a platen, yet methought less fair, less winning soft, less amiably mild, than that smooth watery image. Back I turned, thou following, criedest aloud, Return, fair Eve, whom fliest thou? Whom thou fliest of him thou art, his flesh is bone, to give thee being. I lent out of my side to thee, nearest my heart, substantial life, to have thee by my side henceforth, in individual solace, dear. Part of my soul, part of my soul I seek thee, and thee claim my other half. With that my gentle hand seized mine, I yielded, and from that time see how beauty is excelled by manly grace and wisdom, which alone is truly fair. So spake our general mother, and with eyes of conjugal attraction unreproved, and meek surrender, half embracing, leaned on our first father, half her swelling breast naked met his, under the flowing gold of her loose tresses hid. He, in delight, both of her beauty and submissive charms, smiled with superior love, as Jupiter on Juno smiles, when he impregns the clouds that shed mayflowers, and pressed her matron lip with kisses pure. Aside the devil turned for envy, yet with jealous leer malign, eyed them askance, and to himself thus plained, Slight hate, slight tormenting, thus these two imparadised in one another's arms. The happier Eden shall enjoy their fill of bliss on bliss, while I to hell am thrust, where neither joy nor love, but fierce desire, among our other torments not the least, still unfulfilled with pain and longing pines. Yet let me not forget what I have gained from their own mouths. All is not theirs, it seems. One fatal tree there stands, of knowledge called, forbidden them to taste. Knowledge forbidden? Suspicious, reasonless. Why should their Lord envy them that? Can it be sin to know? Can it be death? And do they only stand by ignorance? Is that their happy state, the proof of their obedience and their faith? Oh, fair foundation laid whereon to build their ruin. I'm going to end there. My break is winding to a close. That last little speech, he continues on, and I'll pick up later today. But that last little speech is interesting because it implies that the lies that Satan told Eve, he himself believed. That's a very interesting thought. I never considered anything like that before. But it does seem plausible that the father of lies would deceive himself as well. That's going to be it for today, or for now. I'll come back later. Thanks for watching.